Today, we're diving into the whirlwind world of Rolex prices over the past year. 2023 is a roller coaster with record highs and turbulent lows. What seemed like a crash was more of a correction, affecting only a small fraction of the market. Despite the frenzy, we must remain cautious as watches transition from luxury items to investment assets. What happened? Last year was a roller coaster in the watch market. It hit record highs and intense turbulence, reminiscent of the 2008 crash, but on a different scale. The frenzy reached new levels with people treating watches as investments, spurred on by talk of a watch index outperforming the S&P 500. This shift caught many, including myself, off guard. What used to be considered expensive toys are now seen as legitimate assets. Despite some models experiencing corrections, it's crucial to remember they only represent a fraction of the market. The perception of a crash is exaggerated by the visibility of these high-profile models. The crash of 2008. The remarkable spike followed by a downturn can be traced back to the onset of COVID-19. Initially, there was a pause similar to what was experienced during the 2008 crash, especially in the secondary market where watches are traded among dealers and retail clients. However, this pause was shorter as unprecedented amounts of money were injected into the market, with the US alone printing 40% more money than ever before. This influx of cash led to a surge in demand for luxury items like Rolex watches, fueled by people seeking to invest their excess income. This trend wasn't unique to watches, but spread across various industries such as cars, real estate, art, NFTs, and crypto. Post-corona, many businesses experienced unprecedented success, leading to increased spending on luxury goods. Consequently, the market saw a significant influx of private buyers in the following months. The surge in prices, reminiscent of what occurred in 2007, stemmed from products trading above their manufacturer's suggested retail price, or MSRP. As private clients began viewing luxury items like Pateks, APs, Richard Milles, and Rolexes as investment opportunities, they entered the market as dealers or flippers, reselling these goods to individuals like us. This influx of private sellers, combined with the practices of authorized dealers or ADs, contributed to the skyrocketing prices. ADs who had been struggling due to manufacturer pressure and competition from gray market dealers suddenly found themselves with an opportunity to profit immensely from high-demand pieces like the Rolex Batman. The waitlist phenomenon was largely a construct, as ADs prioritized lucrative deals over long-standing customer relationships. This dynamic, where ADs could make significant markups by selling to private clients, fueled the market's upward trajectory. As soon as the numbers began to surge, financial institutions like JP Morgan and media outlets such as the Wall Street Journal and Bloomberg jumped on board, churning out articles about the skyrocketing watch index without truly comprehending its underlying reasons. They simply saw our numbers. Internally, I meticulously analyzed data spanning 6 years, amounting to approximately 600 million in sales. This dataset focused on key models like Royal Oaks, Rolexes, and Richard Milles. Indeed, the so-called watch index appeared to outperform the S&P and other indices, but its authenticity remains questionable. The crucial question arises: did we anticipate this surge? Absolutely. However, like many others, we initially panicked when COVID-19 struck. We hastily offloaded inventory at losses, preparing for a crisis akin to 2008. Reflecting on the past, I regret not being financially prepared during the 2008 crisis to seize the subsequent market opportunities. So, when COVID-19 hit, we formulated a plan to sell off merchandise, bide our time, and then re-enter the market with ample liquidity to capitalize on the surge. However, the market rebounded so swiftly that we couldn't accumulate the necessary funds to fully exploit the spike and subsequent upward trend over the past 2 years. Fast forward to May of the following year, and the situation reached a tipping point. Our head buyer, Adrian, rushed into my office declaring a buying freeze. Despite typically purchasing $1 to $3 million worth of merchandise weekly, he deemed the prices exorbitant. We were selling more wholesale than retail due to inflated prices, prompting us to make a strategic decision: sell off inventory regardless of margin, prioritize liquidity, and aim to be cash ready by September. Throughout the challenging months of September and November, and even during the subdued Christmas season, our strategy was clear: buy. We had been poised to do so since May and continue to capitalize on the market's fluctuation today. Who are we capitalizing on? Unfortunately, it's the flippers, those individuals in the private sector who entered the market solely to flip watches for profit. Additionally, we're seizing opportunities presented by what I call the Corona dealers, young entrants who, enticed by the allure of quick riches, find themselves financially stretched after indulging in lavish spending. As we navigate the current landscape, we find ourselves in a favorable position. The secondary market has witnessed a significant decrease in activity from these so-called Corona dealers, who failed to establish sustainable businesses and instead focused on quick turnovers without building a solid client base. In contrast, our approach has always centered on nurturing our core clientele and expanding our reach, ensuring long-term success rather than short-lived gains. But what about the retail customer? How does the current landscape affect them? I've consistently advised my clients, both privately and in public forums like YouTube, that now is a buyer's market. You have the opportunity to acquire the watches you desire at more reasonable prices compared to the inflated market of the past few years. Gone are the days of fear of missing out. Take your time to evaluate your purchases carefully. While there's still potential for watches to appreciate in value, the frantic pace of price increases has slowed. Take for example the Rolex Daytona, a beloved timepiece that reached exorbitant prices, $60,000 at its peak. While Rolex certainly experienced supply chain disruptions during the pandemic, it's unlikely they deliberately fostered a culture of fear of missing out. With Rolex producing over 1 million watches annually, they cannot single-handedly control market dynamics. The pandemic did impact production numbers, but this was a widespread issue affecting the entire industry, not just Rolex. The pandemic's disruption to supply chains, including Rolex's, was temporary. Rolex, with its capacity to produce and sell millions of units, likely isn't micromanaging the market. Instead, authorized dealers may be stockpiling inventory due to rising prices, benefiting from significant margins. Unlike independent sellers like us, dealers have less pressure to sell quickly. Surprisingly, there's a growing appreciation for independent watchmakers, such as those championed by Max Busser, known for innovation. This trend, marked by some independents fetching prices above lists, reflects a deserved acknowledgement of quality. Looking ahead, the market fluctuates hourly, with recent observations indicating an uptick. While my business maintains inventory, sourcing pieces has shown promising trends, suggesting an evolving market. Vigilance and adaptability are key as we navigate these shifts. The current market dynamics suggest a notable uptick in watch prices, evident in recent consistent quotes matching those from weeks prior. While this surge may not mirror the exorbitant levels seen 9 months ago, there's a palpable increase due to perceived value and discussion surrounding watch indices and assets. This resurgence, originating from the secondary market, is different this time. Unlike downturns, upticks are swiftly noticed by retail consumers, often leading to a frenzy. This heightened interest stems from the belief that watches are a viable investment asset class, attracting institutional money and former dealers who see potential gains. Advising clients, I emphasize the impossibility of timing the market bottom. Instead, I encourage seizing desired products, disregarding minor price fluctuations. The watch market historically experiences gradual growth with occasional fluctuations within a narrow price range. Therefore, acquiring desired items now is prudent, irrespective of minor price changes. Looking ahead, there may be a mini frenzy in the coming quarters, driven by recollections of the lucrative market conditions 9 months ago. This prediction underscores the dynamic nature of the watch market and the psychological impact of past experiences on consumer behavior. Thank you for tuning in to our discussion on watches and the market. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments, and we'll make sure to address them in future discussions. Until next time, goodbye and take care, and to our viewers, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more engaging content. We look forward to seeing you in our next video.